Welcome to the Cave Crew Radio pre-show. We are about to go live on cavecrewradio.com, YouTube and Facebook. Please share the show and remember to like, subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss a thing. And please leave us your comments too. Get ready. It's going to be another big show with all the latest hot topics, pop culture and weird news. Ladies and gentlemen, and I use that term loosely, here are your hosts, DK and the Big B.
Baby, they're the same from July to the end of September. Summer night, out on the streets and the pavements are burning. I see around. There ain't no cure for the summertime blues. Summer love, a hot summer night. Endless summer night. In the summertime, when the weather is hot, the damn blues. It's hot down, summer in the city. Everybody's got something.
All right, DK here with Big B.
Hi there.
Radio pre-show, which seems like lately, Big B, is a preview to the what'd you say sounded better? Beers and pucks and beers,
Pucks and beer.
pucks and beer, with our new co-host Chris Apthorpe, talking all things hockey. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Cave Crew Radio is going to be live in about 7 minutes, but you guys know we love our hockey, and we got some burning questions, I guess. The first thing we got to address out of free agency, Big B, is Johnny Gaudreau. What the fuck?
Of all day, I was watching free agency specials all day. First on ESPN, and then on ESPN Plus, they moved it over to TSN. So I'm watching a free agency special all day long, and all I kept hearing was that Johnny Gaudreau wanted to play near his home, which is in Philly, South Jersey, or Philly area. Philly, the Flyers didn't have the cap space, so the Devils were the number one team.
Right.
They were the.
And can we go back to the draft when the Devils passed over Shane Wright because they already have too many forwards.
Right.
And Philly could not move JVR, James Van Riemsdyk's contract.
Right. They had there was no cap space to be had for them to even make a run at Gaudreau. The Devils, who cares that they had too many forwards? Gaudreau is an all-world player. So you do what you have to do to get him on your team. And all day long, the Devils are the front runners. The Islanders could sneak in and try to make a run, but they have cap issues of their own. The Devils are the front runners.
They also have Lou Lamoriello, who's destroyed the Leafs. But anyway.
Well, after winning cups with the Devils, he eventually destroyed them too.
Yeah.
So it was the Devils. Islanders could slip in, or suddenly we heard there was a mystery team. And somebody, I think while I was watching the ESPN portion of the free agency special, was, don't count out the Columbus Blue Jackets. And of course, everybody laughed, because who is going to sign with Columbus?
They got nobody.
Nobody. My man Panarin was on the team 2 years ago, left for the Rangers.
Max Domi. Seth Jones, who's now in beautiful Chicago.
Right.
Yeah, they have no one.
They have absolutely no one. So here comes Johnny Gaudreau. Everybody's waiting on the two people they're waiting on, Gaudreau and Khazri.
Hey, and by the way, if you pay $9 or $10 million for Kadri, you're fucking nuts.
Well, last I heard,
hockey player, but 5/5, maybe. He's 31 years old, Big B.
Well, last I heard was that he's willing to give a hometown discount to Colorado because he wants to go back there.
Yeah.
Nothing set in stone yet. No decision has been made. But all day long, it's Kadri and Goudreau. Those are the two signings we're waiting on.
What about Clayhorn? He's still out there. That's a fucking good right-handed defenseman, I'll tell you.
Well, now you're gonna come into the second tier of free agents. I mean, obviously, first day outside of Kadri.
I don't think Klinghorn is second tier. Right-handed defensemen are very rare, and he's good.
But defense, unless you're a defenseman away from making a run at the Stanley Cup, defense isn't really a huge need in day one of free agent. Everybody wants the snipers, everybody wants the forwards or goalies.
Right. Oh,
forwards and goalies.
Nuts. We only have 3 minutes. What about the goalies?
The goalie was crazy. Let me just say this. I fucking hate Louis Domingue, and now he's on the Rangers.
So we're going to sidetrack for just 1 second. You got Louis Domingue, who you were bitching about in the playoffs because he ate spicy food.
Him and his stupid fucking spicy pork.
And the Leafs got the guy that dropped the cup.
I still don't know who that is.
Ubi Gaboudi or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I got it here. Aubrey Kubel.
Yeah.
I didn't know I don't know he was the one that dropped the cup. I just saw it land next to Darcy Kemper. I didn't know he dropped it.
He came on the radio and he says, yeah, I'm clumsy. Good. Great to have me on the team. Actually, he played very well, and it was a very cheap pickup. But
right, yeah, no, he played great during the playoffs. But yes,
here, Big B, we got 2 minutes, so
we signed Louis Domingue as our third netminder, Mr. Spicy Pork himself. I guess, yeah, as the saying goes, if you can't beat him, join him.
And anyway, Jack Campbell, 5/5. Not worth it. Never started more than 40 games in his life.
I think he's going to do well in Edmonton. Edmonton needed a goalie desperately, and they got a pretty good one in Jack Campbell.
He's one of my favorite people of all time. He will not stay healthy, and he will not maintain that pace. He carries it for a month at a time. And God bless Edmonton. If he does it during the playoffs, they're gold.
Yeah, obviously the season has just ended, so we'll have to see. But the Leafs did. Everybody was depressed about Matt Murray.
We forgot about Kemper. So you got the guy that's going to the optometrist twice a week because he can't see out one of his eyes.
Right.
Yeah, he's a Stanley Cup champion, but then Washington bails on both their goalies.
Vanacek went to the Devils, I believe.
Yeah.
And Samsonov went to your Maple Leafs.
And I have very high hopes on that.
Everybody was so pissed about the Matt Murray trade, but then here comes Samsonov on day one of free agency, and I think he'll be your starting goaltender.
25 years old, first-round draft pick, had a bad year. Capitals weren't that good a team defensively. Right. And I'll tell you about Matt Murray. His dad died in 2019. He played for the worst fucking team in the NHL in Ottawa. He's going to be okay. And if not, he goes on LITR for 4.8, and the Leafs can pick something up.
There you go. And real quick, covering my New York Rangers, we signed Vinny Trocheck. 7 years, 5.6 per year.
Great hockey player.
Second line center.
Great hockey player. We signed Jamcroc today, and I think it means big trades. Big trades coming up.
We'll have to see. The silly season has just begun in the NHL. That's the off season, so we'll have to see what happens over the summer.
So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is Beers and Pucks or whatever. Anyhow, let's get the show started. Cave Crew Radio is about to come on the band. Yeah, turn on the radio, and we got a great show ahead. We'll tell you about it after the short intro. And here we go.
Air traffic control, bring in New York. Roger that. Bring in Canada. 10-4. Gentlemen, we have liftoff.
The show is about to start.
We have liftoff.
In 3, 2, 1. The heat is coming to Cave Crew Radio. The Endless Summer Beach Party 2022.
This is radio. Cave Crew Radio.
When the world turned their back upon men with a dream and savage yearning within them, legions compelled by passion that knows no boundary, a consuming flame that defies plausible explanation, battling the forces of domestication, they find the courage to band together to experience the awesome power of being men.
I say this with all due respect.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Tonight's broadcast of The Masculine Feminist has been commandeered by the secret society No Ma'am.
Gonna go to a place where I get a shot and a beer, steak, man. Saying we can stop, get pancakes, and then we'll get laid, all right?
Why do you drink ice cold beer on a hot day?
Mr. Craven, what else are you gonna do with it?
To alcohol, the cause of and solution to all of life's problems.
The Yankees are champions of baseball. It's a power play goal.
This is Cave Crew Radio.
Cave Crew Radio is the name of the show, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining us live tonight. My name is DK, and I'm live in my cave in Windsor, Ontario, Canada. I am starting a week of vacation, so I am tired, but I am relaxed, and I am ready for the show. We do have Mike Jolitz reads the news. We do have some Florida stories and a bunch of other stuff coming up for you. So stay tuned. We are live on cavecrewradio.com. We are live on YouTube. We are live on Facebook and Twitter and on TalkShoe and Power FM in California. And it's great to be here. We are also available wherever podcasts can be found.
And now, he is the Duke of Urine Stench, as knighted by the Queen, the self-proclaimed President of the United States, a university graduate, and always the epicenter of something. Sir Big B.
Yes, live from Queens, New York, I am Sir Big B, your President-elect of the United States of America. And as always, the epicenter of something. This week, I am the epicenter of all things block party preparation.
Yeah, and usually I have a little heads up on the epicenter, but I didn't this week.
We just found out that one of my neighbors had come around a couple of weeks ago saying, asking us to sign the petition, and you need more than half the block to sign in order to get the permit. We just found out that we are permitted. So it's going to be the first time in 3 years we're having a block party. So I'm starting to prepare now what I'm going to smoke, what else we're going to make, the people that are coming over, and we got to plan an all-day feast.
And I'm sure, as always, Mrs. B is head deep in the crafts and the fun for the children and adult twister and various things. Will you bring the screen out in the garage and do a movie showing?
Well, no, it's going to be during the day. It'll be awfully hard to see.
Oh, so this isn't like a 14-hour experience.
Oh, yeah, it's an all-day thing. But by the time night comes, and I'll have been smoking all day, drinking, the last thing I want to do is put together a screen and connect the projector and all. No, that's not happening.
So
we're just gonna sit out there and drink.
A major menu. I'm sure you'll have some drinks for people that stop by. You'll have some special drinks in those special cups that you have.
And we'll have our friends come by as well, and so it's gonna be an all day thing. It's next month, so we have a month to prepare.
Now, does any of this go to charity? Like, is there a lemonade stand? Will there be a garage sale or any of this stuff?
No, this is exactly what it is. It's a block party. So we block off the block, remove all the cars. No cars are allowed down the street. What we pay into it goes for a bouncy house, a DJ, clown painter for the kids, or face painting, I should say. There may be a clown there too. I don't know, but a bunch of other entertainment stuff, more kid oriented. Like the adults just will hang out and drink.
But Mrs. B is not volunteering you to dress up as a clown, because we know what Mrs. B does to you at some of these events.
No, she. This is kind of the person that's organizing it takes care of her. They bought, they book all the entertainment and all this, so there will be no crafts or anything like that. This is kind of just it's kind of like my thing this year. What I'm going to smoke and what I'm going to prepare and all that, and got to figure out the meals throughout the day. Got to figure out lunch and then dinner, and we'll see where it goes. I might do Jack and Coke pulled pork for the main course in the.
Yeah, how many people do you got to serve? Like, are you going to have like samples with toothpicks? Like, as the people wander around the neighborhood, they're going to go, "Oh, we're I'd like to use large B, but I can't let that slip yet." But
not yet.
We're going to go to Big B's, and so Big B puts a toothpick into a something that has been smoked, and they say, "Oh, this is wonderful. Let's get the whole family over here to Big B's. Send the kids to the bouncy castle, and we're gonna enjoy a cocktail and some nice smoked foods." Or is it strictly the people that you invite over?
Yeah, strictly the people I invite, and then like the other families, will be out
around this block party, and someone's hungry. You're not going to offer them a pulled pork sandwich.
They get food from the people that they're with. So like other family, all the other families invite their friends over, so they feed them. I feed my friends. You don't go around to other people's unless they invite you. Unless you're like my next door neighbor, I'll call over and say, "Hey, come on over. I'll give you some pulled pork." But like somebody down the block,
this is like a group party, but you're all inside. This is almost like dining inside when you're outside, because you're really having your own party.
Right. Yeah. But like my next door neighbors, my immediate next door neighbors, I'll if they're hanging out, come on over. Here's some pulled pork or a rib or whatever I'm making. But like the people all the way down the block, I'm not going out of my way to go here, have some. No, it's not happening. They're gonna, if they come down the block, probably won't even talk to them.
So what exactly is the point of all this then?
The point is to be out, to invite your friends over and have a big party, and the kids can run around the block, and it's a lot for the kids.
But can't you do this without contributing any money to your neighbor's fund? Like, hey, Joe, Sally, Mary, and Bill, come on over.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna smoke some pulled pork and some ribs. Wife's gonna make some potato salad. We're gonna have some drinks, maybe a little bonfire around the tomato plants. Like, you could do this on your own. The sound of this is like, the way your neighbor's describing it is more like I'd like to buy the world a Coke.
But okay, let me ask you this: do you have block parties in Canada?
We have block yard sales. I don't socialize as much as you do. If I want to have friends over.
But do you have block parties? Has your block ever been blocked off, cars removed, people out in the street all day long?
No. Not on my particular street. There's parties that I can go to, but like if I want to have a party if I want to get the smoker going and the barbecue and a bonfire, whatever, hey, come on over. Melissa may invite some people that I might not like, but they come over. It's my party. I don't contribute to a neighborhood fund.
But do you have a bouncy house for kids? Do you have face painting for kids? Do you have a DJ that comes and plays music? No. You don't. So that's what we're contributing to.
What more do you need at a party than DK? All right.
Obviously, not much if you're Jimmy and Vegas. That's all you need.
Anywhere else, you know damn well. You come to my house, you're having a good time. I put a few pops in myself, and I think I could entertain you better than Howie Mandel.
But that's what you pay into. You pay to help fund the bouncy house for the kids and the DJ and all the other entertainment stuff that goes on throughout the day.
So literally, I'm being honest with you now. If this happened on my block, I'd shut myself in. Absolutely.
So there you go. We're going to be out front with everybody. We'll hang out with the neighbors. My immediate neighbors will hang out. Our kids will play and all of that. And also you part of the contribution goes towards the permit because you have to pay the city for the permit. Permit's not free. So, all of this, yeah, I could not contribute and then not, just stay in my backyard. But why would I do that? I'll contribute, let my kids go and play, let them run around and have a good day. Invite friends over and we're going to have fun.
First of all, don't say kids anymore because Peter ain't doing shit. He's not jumping in no fucking bouncy castle anymore.
Kid.
You got one kid.
My little one.
And
my little one.
Your wife happy because she fucking lives for this shit.
But there's no crafts this year. Not no crafts for a block party.
She'll come up with something. She
might.
She'll have like a tiki lights hanging off your driveway and all kinds of shit going on. And now there's Chris Apthorpe, the future co-host of
Pucks and
Beer.
And he missed the discussion.
Missed all the hockey talk.
We were very in depth about free agency in the pre-show, and you missed it.
Anyway, I'm far more fast. So anyway, I'll get reports of this later. It's an epicenter of a very noble thing.
And I will
parties.
When it comes to, it's a month from now. It's August 27th. When it on that day, I will go live.
Running right into fucking Labor Day.
I will go. Well, Labor Day is probably the next weekend. I will go live on the Cave Crew page and show you what's going on.
I can't wait.
I'll also go live by my smoker, show you what's smoking, what we're doing, the drinks. I'll go live several times.
Yeah. And listen, if I was there, I'm not invited. Of course, I never am. But if I was there,
you are if you can make it to the U.S. August 27th, you are cordially invited.
And I would sit in your yard enjoying the pulled pork and the excellent drinks and speaking to you and Mrs. B and whoever your other friends are. I know a lot. I don't know them, but I've heard of a lot of your friends and they seem really cool. They've been on the show before.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd be like, people walk by and I'd be like, fuck you. Because
I think if you were, well, first of all, we're not going to be in the yard. We're going to be in the front. We set up the table in the street and all of this. It's going to be fun. I think if you are here, and again, if you can make it to New York on August 27th, you were cordially invited to come to the block party. If you were here and you
rent a car, you'd rent a convertible, and look, everyone, DK, who the fuck is that?
Well, I would, we'd have to have a march up and down the block. The mighty DK is here. But you would get into the spirit of things.
Is anyone feel the vibe? Poutine.
Nobody will have poutine. Not one person will have poutine.
No, it sounds like fun. I'm just jazzing you, but
of course.
Anyway. So Big shout out to Short Side. Big shout out to our buddy Chris Apthorpe, who needs to buy a microphone similar to ours and a computer. And this puck and beer shit will happen. And I will listen to you guys spew your hockey bullshit. And it'll be a lot of fun.
And short side, no, I'm not going to break out my bass. We're not scaring the neighbors with my bass line.
You should. I think you should get out there and do a bass solo. Like, I mean,
as the DJ's playing, like he sets up in the middle of the block, I bring out my stuff and set up in front of my house, and kind of as he's playing, I'm going to play.
I'm sure he's going to take a break at house number 14 and grab some pork and beans, and that'll be your opportunity to throw, one of your Marshall stacks out on the driveway and lay down a bass line.
Got it. Okay. I will think about it.
I'm just saying, you gotta. Are you buying fireworks? What like?
No, fireworks are illegal here in New York. We can't buy them.
Oh, okay. What about open carrying of weapons? Will that be allowed during the block party?
You cannot get a gun in New York City.
Short Side says, play that funky music, white boy.
There you go.
I think that's worthy of writing down, even for a show note.
Okay, we'll write that down. But Chris is asking, he says there's no fishbowl for the keys either. Not during the block party. There's no cars allowed on the block. So you'd have to figure out a place to park or call an Uber.
So wait a minute, though. That's a very good question that Chris brings up. So let's say I'm friends with the guy in the middle of the block, and I need an Uber.
Yeah.
How does that go down?
You'd go to the corner, either corner, and meet them on the corner.
So, like, and I'm going to drop this in a minute because we got a lot of other shit we got to get to. But so you're telling me you're doing this. Well, not you, but one of your neighbors is doing this, and you, Mrs. B, are buying into it. A big block party. Let's all come together. The kids are going to have a ball. We're all going to have a great time. It's going to be a fantastic day. And you're not going to socialize with any of your neighbors.
I just said my immediate neighbors and my neighbors across the street that we talk all the time, we're all going to be hanging out. The people like all the way down the block on the other end of the block, no, because I don't even know them. So no, I'm not going to be socializing with them.
Wouldn't this be an excellent opportunity to say, hey, I am the Big B, and come on over. I'm going to make you a margarita and a slider.
Sure, but it's not going to happen. I'm going to be smoking meats and drinking in front of my house.
I'm missing some of this. So you're going to let James run around the neighborhood without supervision, and you're going to sit there and smoke meat with your people that you already hang out with.
Yes. But in a larger group, yes, it'll be fun. I tell you, once I go live on Facebook on the day, you'll understand.
I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around that, but it sounds like an excellent time. I'm just going to carry on with exactly what I normally do. And like, if I want Chris to come over, because Chris is a buddy of mine, we coached hockey together. We speak to each other. I would invite Chris and his wife, and he's got great kids too. I mean, they're more than welcome to come. I love them. But I'm not going to invite the rest of Chris's circle to join me. And the way you're making it sound is I'd say, hey, Chris, I want you and the wife to come over. I'm going to smoke some meats. We're going to play some music. We're going to lay the beat down. We're going to play that funky music, white boy. You guys come on over. Invite all your friends, but they can hang out down the street and call an Uber.
That's not how it is. I will. Once you see it, you'll understand it. I don't think you've ever been to a legitimate block party.
No, I'm not Jenny from the block. I don't like people, believe it or not.
It's funny because the more and more I talk to people about block parties, the more and more I think it's more like a New York thing. Because, people in other places like you in Canada and, other places that I've talked to, they don't know either they don't know what a block party is, or they know of them but have never been to one.
It reminds me of that Spike Lee movie way back. You know,
Do the Right Thing.
Yeah, Do the Right Thing. That was a great movie.
That was in New York, and I'm sure there was a scene of a block party.
Yes,
that was in there.
Italians and people of color killing each other.
Right. Yes. There will be no killing at this block party.
I certainly hope not.
No, there will be no killing.
All right. Anyway, folks, now that we've put that to bed, we do have a good show for you. Should we jump right into Jolitz, or what should we do?
Well, Jolitz before my news for sure.
What's that? Jolitz first?
Jolitz before my news.
I do have another question.
Sure.
So when you go to grab the peanut butter whiskey, you just, take her back right out of the bottle, which is beautiful. I have no problem with that. I'm sure at some point in the show, Mrs. B will bring you this illustrious drink.
Yeah.
And you will have it in a special cup. Can you help define that for us?
What do you mean?
Well, I just gave you my case. So you're sitting there, DK stressing me out again. But Mrs. B brings you, and I'm sure there's like ice shavings in it and like cinnamon on top and all this other shit.
Right.
What motivates you more?
I don't care. There's alcohol. I don't care. I don't give a shit. She texted me actually because the ice machine in the refrigerator was acting up, so I pulled it out and I forgot to put it back in. So we have no ice, so she can't make any drinks tonight.
Do you not have a corner store?
We do, but I'm not going out, and my wife's not going out to get a bag of ice.
Okay.
But yeah, she comes down. Those cups.
Ordered a bag of ice online right now. You'd probably get 2.
I probably would get one for free, absolutely, and I would not try to sell it this time.
No, in your luck, you get 2 bags of ice for the price of 1.
I'll try that on the day of the block party, so I can have more ice.
I can't wait for this. More to come, ladies and gentlemen.
But to finish the point on the drinks, what my wife brings down always has some ice in it, so she puts it in those coffee cups that keep things either hot or cold. So it keeps it cold, and that's how I drink it.
So I got to ask about that real quick before we go. So she thinks, I made him this nice drink. I'm going to enjoy it. And Big B's on there, and he's sipping out of this fancy cup. Well, he takes swigs of peanut butter whiskey on the side. Do you like run up afterwards and then take shots out of the bottles that she's used?
No. No, by the time the show ends, like if she brings down a drink, I've had that drink, I've drinking whiskey and a couple of beers. I'm pretty well feeling good by the time I get upstairs. So I'm not taking any more shots. And short side, this isn't 1977 with your fucking ice trays.
I remember. No, he's talking. Remember those cups you buy and they got like a little strainer in it? I had one for Jake to make like Slurpees or slushies or whatever you call them there. And you shake the whatever you put in there, like the juice and it crystallizes to ice.
Oh, I don't know about that. I was taking that to mean the little ice trays that you buy.
No, we do have those as well.
I do not. But the serious answer to that question is I do not, because I have an ice maker, so I didn't need ice trays. But my ice maker,
and you left it out of the fridge. So damn it, would you love to have some of those plastic ice trays, right?
Right. And he says we don't all have fridges that make ice.
Exactly.
I'm upper echelon refrigerator owner.
Right, and some of us have to spend money on other things like gasoline for our cars.
Look, I am not dealing with you peasants that have to have ice trays. I have my refrigerator make my ice for me.
Before hang on a minute.
Hang on. Hold while he writes things down. I am of upper crust. I am Sir Big B. My refrigerator makes my ice, God damn it. I will not sully myself pouring water into a plastic tray and freezing it overnight.
Waiting for 8 hours until it comes out as a cube.
This will not happen on my watch.
And he says, so you deserve it, sir. See, they even call you sir out there. You get
There you go.
I'm telling you. But I wanted to tell you this. So we're talking about gas and taxes. Just really quick, I'm going to throw this in and then we'll go to Jolet's and then to our stuff.
Yep.
We are apparently, so we now have this thing in Canada called a carbon tax. And it is applied on gasoline and natural gas and propane and everything you can imagine that pollutes the environment. And we pay like, I believe it's up to 6.4%, but someone could correct me if I'm a little off on the figure. Well, today, and I won't know because I have a joint account with my wife. It was direct deposited, and sure as shit, she won't tell me because I just put my money in there. And she likes paying the bills. And as long as my cards work, I have no problem. She could be stuffing money under the bed like no tomorrow.
Right.
But anyway, apparently we got a carbon tax rebate.
Ooh.
What is the point of this? You're going to charge me constantly. You're going to throw me $300 here and there. I don't get it. You're going to fuck me up the ass somewhere else. I know you will.
Well, it's the same concept as the income tax rebates. So when you file your taxes and you get money back, what's the point? Why did you overtax me to begin with?
Yeah,
Figure it out.
Or you're going to raise taxes somewhere else.
Right. Or you're going to raise taxes. Exactly. And unfortunately, that's what our shitbag president, who inflation hit 9.1%, is still wants to raise taxes.
Oh, you're ahead of us. We're at 7%. We keep raising interest rates. We are about to go into a global recession, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, we are. Led by our fucking idiot president. 9.1% inflation.
Chris Apthorpe just got a big, see, look, I got to talk to my wife after the show. She's buying dinner tomorrow.
Wait, so does that mean that he's going to fund the Canada trip?
No, Chris Apthorpe wouldn't buy me a coffee.
Damn it.
I coached with him for a full year, and I don't think he brought me a Tim Hortons once.
You should get free Tim Hortons for life.
You were a championship. Well, almost, but it was canceled by COVID. And anyway, he got a T-shirt, for fuck's sakes, saying he was a co-champion. Never even bought me a coffee. He's not going to share any of that shit for me. I saw him at the bar the one night, and he's eating with his friends and introducing me and shaking my hand. We had a few laughs. You think he bought me a shot? Oh, hell no.
Well, let me just say this. I feel since you were manager extraordinaire, you deserve free Tim Hortons for life.
I would love that. I would love that, but anyway, not going to happen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got to get moving, or we're not going to get through this shit. We got Mike Reads the News is coming up right now, and you all love that. And I love his taglines that he gives me. Dilly Dilly is the tagline of his news.
Dilly Dilly.
And we also have our stories. I think we got some good ones. We were like pulling from the bottom of the barrel again, but when we pull from the bottom of the barrel, that usually means good shit for me and you.
Yes.
And then of course we got Florida in the news, and I think we got some good Florida stories for you, folks.
He said you offered to pay for drinks. So there you go. He's not going to buy a drink if you're offering.
He did win the championship, and there's so many. We'll talk about this on Pucks and Beers. I mean, I referred to him a kid that was all of about 3'2", but had all the talent in the world, and I made sure that kid ended up on his team, and he won the championship. He's a great coach. I mean, how can you not be a great coach when you wear dresses on the ice?
That is 100% correct.
No, him and the dude he had coaching with him, Clay, both phenomenal guys. That's why I made the request that Chris was the coach. And I'm assuming that's Isbia because she must have got the carbon tax rebate because now she's offering to buy drinks. She won't buy me shit. I tell her I got holes in my underwear, and she tells me, tough luck, shove a sock in there.
Will she fund the Canada trip?
I doubt it. Well, yeah, but she likes you. She might. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, one of the best parts of our show. Sit back and enjoy as Mike Jolitz from Surprise, Arizona, reads us the news.
And now, Cave Crew Radio presents Mike Reads the News with Mike Jolitz.
Cave Crew Radio. How the hell are you guys? Yeah, I'm doing fantastic. Another fine weekend coming up here in Arizona. Yeah. Alrighty, guys. It is now time for Mike Reads the News. President Dumbass, Biden's approval rating came in on Monday. His approval rating is at 30%. It was 115 degrees on Monday in Arizona. That's hot as balls. The pool still is not completed. Well, the Weavers haven't sold their house yet. The neighborhood is in a shambles. Good God, people. Someone buy that house. Brian? Big B? 7-Eleven gave away free Slurpees on Monday, the 11th, in honor of their 95th anniversary. I didn't get one as there's not one close by. The Women's Football Alliance had their national championship last weekend in Canton. The Boston Renegades beat the Vixen to repeat as champions in front of literally tens of fans. ESPN broadcast the game live on the Ocho. Taylor Gooch shot a 68 yesterday at the 150th British Open. Gooch got 5 birdies, too. Gooch. I just wanted to say Gooch. I feel better. For those unaware, Gooch is slang for perineum or taint. Steve McGrew is back after yet another stint in Facebook jail. Not sure what he did. Probably told the truth and some snowflake got his panties in a bunch. The Packers have one less win than the Bears, who have 783. I'm not worried. The Packers will have that record this year. Guaranteed. Unfortunately, there won't be a Herd Depp rematch in the courts. I rather enjoyed that distraction. Amber Turd was born at that time. What a great time to be alive back then.
Good times.
And finally in the news, Elon Musk has pulled out of the Twitter deal. Twitter stock is in a shitter. Seems like a lot of bot accounts is what that app has. Alrighty, guys, that does it for the news. It is now time for the tidbits. Yeah. Ivana Trump passed away yesterday. She was 73. Yeah. My band 212 was back on the alternative charts on Reverb Nation in Surprise. We're at number 6. Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah. And finally in the tidbits, Ireland beat New Zealand in rugby for the first time ever on New Zealand soil. Bex is still crying. Gareth is on suicide watch. Wow. Yeah. Alrighty, guys, so that does it for this. Mike reads the news. Choose chow on off either saying if you wanna. Nah, nobody does. Alrighty, guys. Have a great show, DK and Sir Big B. Later, guys. Bye-bye.
Hot topics, weird news, shock talk radio, cavecrewradio.com.
Did I miss something? Where did Dilly Dilly come from?
So Dilly Dilly was part of a Bud Light
I
ad.
know what Dilly Dilly is.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
hearing the commercial, but why did he call the audio clip Dilly Dilly?
Oh, I have no idea.
Because
He was
that
just
fucking
naming it.
pool's not built. He's bitch. Listen, you and me living in the northern hemisphere, not having a pool built by August would be having shit fits. It's still going to be 100 on Christmas Day.
So 2 things before we get to our news, which I have to pull up. One, Mike in his backyard's got this giant hole in the ground. It's filled with rebar, but apparently he told us there's a concrete shortage. I didn't know there was a such thing as a concrete shortage.
That's new to me too. There's shortages of everything around the world, but
I didn't realize concrete would be one of them, but that's why his pool is still not built, because there's apparently a concrete shortage. He's got it completely dug out. It's filled with rebar waiting for the concrete to come, but there is no concrete. Otherwise, he has a wonderful backyard and the pool's going to be great. Second thing, Mike was talking about somebody not selling a house. If that's one of your neighbors, please send me the listing and I will talk to Mrs. B so we can move out to Surprise, Arizona. I loved it out there. So you send me the listing and let me look at it.
there you go. Big B, perhaps moving to Arizona, which is where I plan on retiring, by the way, BB, even though I will be probably in a Coleman pop-up trailer or a Winnebago. I will come swim in your pool, and perhaps we'll be pickleball partners.
Oh, pickleball in retirement. There you go. Yeah. And I'm assuming Facebook user again is your wife, and she's into bringing me to you.
She would love to meet you. She had such a great time with Stu, and I have to tell you, I was talking to Stu today just before we get started, and he's in a sling. He's playing up this broken collarbone beautifully.
Right.
And I happened to mention to him, and I think he's pissed off at me again, that I've noticed, Stu, since you've been off with the broken collarbone, you have not had yellow phlegm flu, which he usually gets every 6 weeks. And by the way, the person treating him is named Juan from Colombia. I don't think he'll have any problem getting notes for work. They go to the same tattoo artist, apparently.
There you go.
So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Mike Joel, it's a good friend of ours.
Great guy. And short side, yes, Arizona is the rich man's Florida. There is two, Florida is the retirees from the East Coast. Arizona is the retirees from the West Coast and the Northwest.
Right. And I'm from the East, Northeast, but I think I would still prefer Arizona to Florida.
Arizona was awesome.
I know. And Florida has all these weird people that we're going to talk about in just a few minutes. And also really, really big pythons.
And gators.
And gators, yeah. So it's just less fucked up. Yeah, we'll prove that to you in a few minutes.
Right.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, our stories are not quite as short as Mike's, but we always try to get to the bottom of the story for you. Here we go.
Now it's time for the news with our senior correspondent, the Big B.
Our first story of the day.
Before you start, this is a show that Isbia likes to watch on Monday nights.
Oh, really?
Hence, not just with the Hallmark Christmas movies, why I usually choose to go to bed early on Monday nights. Not because I'm so tired from work, but because of this stupid fucking show.
So in your living room on the 80-inch television, this show is on.
HD television.
80-inch HD TV, this show is on.
Right, and the roses are crystal clear, except for the ones that don't get them, of course.
Of course. Our first story of the day about this show comes from EliteDaily.com. The headline reads, a new campaign is calling for fat inclusion on the Bachelor franchise.
Just another Me Too movement.
But this one would be, I would watch every single day.
Oh, me too. Could you imagine? No, you're out of roses for the hot chick. You need to pick one transgender and one slightly overweight dyed redhead.
But if they have fat inclusion, would it be potato chips instead of roses? Hold while I write things down.
Excuse me, I have a Hershey bar for you. I've run out of roses, but just to be inclusive, so my show maintains on the network, I'd like to offer you the olive branch of a Hershey bar.
Anybody got a Kit Kat?
And I guarantee you that the woman would say yes. I don't care if she's 95 pounds or 460. You throw a Hershey bar instead of a rose. Roses die. You stick a Hershey bar in the fridge, and you're good to go whenever you want a little nibble of dark chocolate.
There you go. Chris says they'd give out turkey legs like at medieval times.
Have you been there? It's fucking awesome.
It is. It is fantastic.
Medieval times is the best.
I was there once when Peter was younger, and we had such a great time. And yes, we had the big giant turkey leg, no fucking utensils, just eating it, and our ale. We had the turkey leg and the ale, and I think the Black Knight won or the Red Knight, whichever. I don't give a fuck. Somebody won, and it was a kick-ass night. And I got a fucking axe that's over there from medieval times.
I never got no fucking axe. I just remember my kid. He was really young then, but it was great because we're sitting there, and we had great seats. We're right in the front, like you said, Green Knight and Red Knight. And there's a fucking drumstick and a bowl of tomato soup without a spoon.
Yes, yeah. There's no utensils.
Napkins, okay? My kid was in heaven.
There's no utensils. And outside, out in the lobby, there's like the gift shop. So I bought an axe.
I didn't buy anything. All I remember is we were late, but we got there in the nick of time. But the parking in downtown Toronto was like $25. I don't even think the ticket for the fucking thing was that much.
Oh, I think our parking was free because we went in Jersey, so there was like they have a parking lot already there, so it wasn't. I think it was free.
But
anyway,
Thorpe, we all understand where you're going. Anyway, back to the fat people getting roses on The Bachelor.
The Bachelor franchise has made some recent strides in increasing diversity on the show, including casting Matt James as the show's first Black Bachelor in 2021. But a new campaign is calling for more change. Roses for Everybody, which launched on July 11th, is a new campaign demanding fat representation in the leads, contests, and crew of the Bachelor franchise.
Oh, I can't wait to volunteer to go find a wife.
I want to see a fucking sweaty, out of breath, fat guy trying to hold the boom mic for 45 minutes.
or what's her name? The I can't remember her name. I can't even say it. But that popular actress is really funny. Yeah, I want to jump in bed with her.
According to a press release shared with Elite Daily, the campaign is calling for the Bachelor franchise to be inclusive of all bodies and to showcase beautiful fat badasses on our favorite reality television.
They have to allow transgenders, midgets, everything.
And everything in between.
Needs to be a free-for-all.
Roses for Everybody, which is led by Jenna Vesper from the Bachelor Recap podcast Date Card, is seeking to build on the work the Bachelor Diversity Campaign has done to encourage stronger biopic representation on The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, and other Bachelor shows. According to the press release, in the 20 years the franchise has been on the air, there have been more than 1,100 contestants, but only 2 of those contestants identify as plus size, and both of those contestants went home on night 1.
Well, of course they did. Listen, can I make a point here?
Mm-hmm.
What's next? I'm way out of my prime, but I don't understand why I can't play in the NFL.
Right.
So every team needs to have an out of shape fucking senior.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Even if I hold the ball for the place kicker, I deserve to play in the NFL. Give your fucking head a shake. All right? You've got the right to vote. You've got the right to work. You've got freedom's coming out of your ass. You've got a right to carry so you can do a fucking massive shooting or something. The Bachelor is sexy people, more sexy than you and I, Big B. I'm not insulting you, but like there's a certain place for certain things. Now, if that fat fucking bitch wants to challenge Joey Chestnut to celebrity hot dog eating, go crazy.
So here's the thing. Entertainment, television shows in particular, because you can sit at home and watch them all day long, are for entertainment value and are an escape, so to speak, of what you deal with in everyday life, right? So when you're watching The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, shows like that, you don't want to see people that you see at your office, at the corner bodega, when you walk out of the house. You don't want to see those people
at night.
I'm not going there.
This is more for the women than it is for us. So I'm not insulting the women.
Right,
I'm
for
saying
sure.
They don't want to roll over and see DK snoring with his glasses hanging off his nose because he's so exhausted.
Right.
They want to see.
You want to see,
some eye candy.
A dude that's cut, that's ripped, a good-looking young dude on there. This is what you want to see because it leads to imagination. It leads to a separate fantasy away from reality. It takes you away from reality for a little while, and that's why people watch it. They're not interested in fucking, oh, is this guy going to date this guy or this chick and this chick? Who cares? They're looking at it as a reality of this is not what I have to see on a daily basis. Let my imagination flow for a little bit. And then, when the show is over, okay, I go back to reality and do my thing. I'm not unhappy with my reality. I'm perfectly fine with my reality, but I want an imagination to explore different things.
Exactly.
If you go and include the fat people, right? And you start including like the everyday Joes, kind of, the guys, the dudes, the plumbers, and the everyday dudes that are out, working construction or whatever, and they got a bit of a belly and get the pants hanging off, the plumber's crack and things like that. Right. You're not going to watch it. Nobody's going to watch it. Ratings will tank because that's not what people want. That's what a special interest group wants, but that's not what people as a whole in general want. They want their imagination to go.
That one woman we covered, because I know they do it with the Bachelorette too, and she gives the fucking roses out, and she walked over and she gave it to a tree. Like, you chose the maple instead of the oak.
Right.
Come on, people. Listen, I know I grew up in a world that is very strange to all of you. Archie Bunker in a different world. And I know you all hate Donald Trump and the values that he stood for, but can you not just for a second take a Polaroid snapshot of some of the shit we talk about and realize how fucking ridiculous it is?
Absolutely. There's a reason why, bringing to this conversation, there's a reason why strip clubs exist. And there's a reason why the fat people are not performing at the strip clubs, because it's another fantasy outlet. It's something you don't see.
They do have their own show. It's called My 700-Pound Life.
That is true. You can watch that
in the privacy of your own home.
That is true.
Without me, at least if I got to sit there while I finish my cheeseburger watching The Bachelor, I don't have to look at Big Contessa. I can see some chick in a bikini. Not that I enjoy the show at all, but don't take the last inkling of joy I have out of the show.
Well, let me clarify some things, because there are some demands apparently.
Yeah, we don't just make a request, we make demands.
Roses for Everybody is calling for fat inclusion beginning with the next season of The Bachelor, slated for January 2023. The campaign.
I can't see the ratings. They're going to win 20 Emmys. I just can't wait till Jimmy Kimmel's standing there handing them out.
The campaign is specifically making 5 demands of the Bachelor franchise, its creator Mike Fleiss, NZK Productions, Warner Brothers, and ABC. Number 1, cast a minimum of 5 diverse fat people each season of The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. Number 2, give equitable non-fat identity-focused screen time to the fat contestants.
So can I just ask a question? I know you're trying to get through this list. The people asking for this are referring to the people as fat.
Yes.
They're not saying 5 plus size. They're calling their own people fat.
I'm reading it word for word. I'm not changing any words here. Number 3, choose leads who specify that they will date diverse fat people. Number 4, provide support to fat contestants, including inclusive clothing options when required for sponsored events and mental health support to navigate anti-fat harassment from the audience.
We have a whole wardrobe, ladies and gentlemen, of moo-moos. And mental health support.
And mental health support. Don't forget.
1-800 call Saul.
1-800 not fat.
You're not fat. You're just pudgy and cute.
You're not fat. You're fluffy.
You are the prettiest fat girl I've ever met.
Oh, you're just big boned. Number 5, hire fat staff and production and incorporate fat inclusion training from fat liberationists.
What is fat? Excuse me. What is fat inclusion training?
I don't know. We'd have to ask a fat liberationists. I don't know what a fat liberationist is. It's another liberal, nonsensical look at me bullshit.
We still have 45 minutes to go.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
That just moved into my number 1 spot. And we have 45 minutes to go.
Well, I have another one for number 1
training.
I have another one for number 1, but we're on the same track. It's more liberal, nonsensical. Look at me. I'm important nonsense. Nobody wants this except them.
I have one more question because we can't dwell on this fucking story forever.
Mm-hmm.
We probably could, but we shouldn't. So, like, I notice, like in sets and in business meetings and in different scenarios, they're always like, we're going to provide healthy options. So, fruit trays and juices as opposed to things. Do the fat people want to have like punchkis and
they demand Big Macs,
yes,
and Frosties,
and Diet Coke.
Yes, Big Mac, fries, and plenty of Diet Coke to go around.
Give me a Diet Coke with that. I'm watching my weight. Big shout out to Mike Jolitz. You missed your spot.
Hi, Mike. I was asking Mike questions earlier about the bug life in Arizona.
Anyway, are we clear with this? Or?
Yeah, we're done. It doesn't get better than fat liberationists.
Fucking, I can't wait for Fat Bachelor. I just fucking can't wait for it. And then maybe I'll feel good about myself. Because you look at all these people on screen, Big B, just like watching porn. You're like, oh, fuck. I don't have a chance. right? At least with Fat Bachelor, I'll go, I'm going to drink a few more beers and my waistline might be okay to get a
There
rope.
you go. Oh.
Anyway, from fat people to
stupid people.
Portal from hell.
From fat to stupid. The next story comes from Mike.com, MIC.com. Headline reads, and this has been all over the place. Headline reads, people think scientists are opening hell portals with this particle collider.
Beautiful.
After a 3-year hiatus for repairs and upgrades, the Large Hadron Collider, operated by the European Organization for Nuclear Research, otherwise known as CERN, is back online. Scientists operating the world's largest particle collider are once again searching for the existence of the fundamental particles known as the Higgs boson, which appeared after the Big Bang. Or at least that's what they want. Or at least that's what they want you to believe. You see, while scientists claim to be researching the origins of the universe and have produced a massive amount of research and scholarships to back this up, the truth tellers on Twitter know better.
They always do.
They always do.
Is there anyone from hang on a minute.
TikTok?
I need a sound effect before you say that.
Oh.
I can't find my mouse. Never mind. Carry on.
The Large Hadron Collider is no tool for understanding our own existence. It is instead a tool to usher in the apocalypse and open a portal to hell.
Hell is coming with me.
All this was foretold by the ancient and predictive scroll known as
Nostradamus.
Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Hang on.
That movie sucked, by the way.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, don't. Look, parsing this is an exercise in futility because the theories that people have cooked up about CERN's particle collider are certified bonkers. But there is a surprisingly not so small contingent of internet sleuths who are pretty sure they've discovered the true purpose of the machine, and we shouldn't ignore the fact that these people exist. Deciding which collider conspiracy you would like to believe is a bit of a choose-your-own-adventure book. While you like some faith and religion sprinkled in, would you like some faith and religion sprinkled in there? Try CERN is summoning the devil for size. The evidence, CERN has 666 in its logo, and the collider's loop is 16.6 miles in circumference, which is apparently close enough to the devil's number to count. In this telling of the story,
are you watching the chat while you're reading this?
I'm reading. I can't
watch Jolitz and Short Size speaking in tongues. I'm really getting scared. This is scarier than the fat people on Bachelor.
We are summoning the devil as we speak. CERN is opening a portal to hell under the Earth's surface. Maybe you're more into the supernatural. Then perhaps the shadow people conspiracy is more your speed. In this explanation, CERN is inviting in shadow people from another dimension.
Ooh.
You'll be able to spot these people, amorphous black clouds in the outline of a human in your peripheral vision. It's unclear what they do other than chill, but it does seem bad to invite interdimensional beings onto our plane. I agree.
I would never listen. As much as I was against the fat people going on Bachelor, I would never want shadow people in my interdimensional plane.
You certainly don't want shadow people in your interdimensional plane. Bad things happen. But if you fancy yourself more of a puzzle box type person who likes to piece together a mystery, then the Hollywood has been warning us theory should be right up your alley. According to these experts, some of the sci-fi stories told in the last few years have been preparing us for CERN's true intention, opening up a portal to another dimension. The proof? Well, Stranger Things did it, and so did the latest entry in the Doctor Strange franchise. Kind of. A good question for any of these conspiratorial explanations for the Large Hadron Collider is simply why? Like, why would scientists do these things? Presumably, the answer is that they are controlled by Satan or are just too arrogant to restrain themselves.
You did that beautifully. Can you do that again? They are controlled by Satan.
Presumably, the answer is that they are controlled by Satan. But frankly, if scientists are creative enough to build a machine that can rip a hole in our very reality, surely they can come up with something better than a middling entry into the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
All that to say,
you've got the chat room talking in all kinds of mystic fucking yada yada.
Mike's talking about the Necronomicon, the Book of the Dead.
Oh, jeez.
Short size saying Klecto, Nerato, Nichu, Clove. I don't even want to. I'm going to summon some demons if I keep reading that.
You guys
but
are
all of this
much fun. And as I'm looking out my window and I'm seeing some shadows out of my peripheral vision.
All this to say, conspiracy theorists are dumbasses.
Yes. Yeah. They should get together with the fat people and
they can have their own conspiracy theory bachelor fat person show.
Speaking of conspiracy theories, can you guys in the chat stop speaking in tongue? You're freaking me out. This is an interesting one. It's about a fishing tale and a legend.
Now, before I read the story, when I was reading the story to find the stories for the show and this, to find the order, this story brought me back to a guest we had on a few years ago when we were talking about Bigfoot.
Yes.
And he was a Bigfoot expert.
Yes.
And he didn't want to answer any questions about Bigfoot.
He abruptly got up and left the show because people from his church were listening.
Right. He didn't want to answer. He was a Bigfoot expert that didn't want to answer Bigfoot questions because people from his church were listening. But when I was reading the story, I was wondering, because I don't remember the person's name, could this be the same guy?
It very well could be. You know, and when I think of that guy, Big B, it's like, I've got a fetish for sex dolls. I want to go on the radio. But then again, I don't want anyone to know about it. Why would you publicize yourself as a Bigfoot expert and then blatantly leave the show because the people from your church might be listening? Why would you promote it to them? They have no idea who Cave Crew Radio is.
Correct. On all accounts. You market yourself as a Bigfoot expert. You come on our show. We ask you Bigfoot questions, and you leave because you've told people in your church to come on and listen to Cave Crew Radio talk about Bigfoot because you're the expert, but don't want to answer any questions. That doesn't make sense.
And walks up and leaves the show. And I don't think we were being cruel. We were just trying to understand Bigfoot.
Right. That's all we wanted to, and I was asking serious. The one question that he really couldn't answer, and I was asking very seriously, was in the 70s, there were sightings all the time on Bigfoot, and you'd have these grainy, shitty photos of Bigfoot. Nowadays, with the advent of technology, everybody has a mobile computer in their pocket and has a camera at the ready. Why are there no more sightings and no more photos? Or any high quality photos? He didn't want to answer. He made excuses. And when we pressed him on it, he left.
Unbelievable. Anyway, this gentleman had much worse luck dealing with Bigfoot than we did.
That's true. This coming from Fox 23 in Oklahoma. Headline reads, man arrested for killing noodling partner, claims Bigfoot defense.
So, wait a minute. Was this guy like a pasta maker?
I don't know what noodling is. It doesn't explain it in here.
We need some help from the audience.
Can
What?
somebody tell me what noodling is? Now, I know, like, if you're a musician, like we would noodle around and just, fuck off and just, that's called noodling. I don't think that's what by looking at him, that's not what he was doing.
Maybe that was his circle jerk partner or something.
Oh, it could be.
Yeah.
An Oklahoma man was arrested for killing a fellow noodler in Pontotoc County, claiming the killing was related to a Bigfoot summoning.
Not just a sighting.
A summoning. According to the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation, Larry Sanders and Jimmy Knighton were noodling in the South Canadian River on July 9th when a fight broke out between them. Sanders reportedly hit and strangled Knighton.
See, he was diddling them. Someone, please tell us what noodling is so we can play on it.
I don't know.
We will jump all over this if you tell us what it means.
He, Sanders, appeared to be under the influence of something. Well, no shit. His statement was
probably he was noodling.
His statement was that Mr. Knighton had summoned Bigfoot to come and kill him. That's why he had to kill Mr. Knighton.
God rest his soul. All I can think of is Andre the Giant and the $6 Million Man right now.
Sanders was
Bigfoot.
Sanders was initially arrested on an outstanding warrant and booked into the Pontotoc County Jail. On July 10th, authorities found Knighton's body and charged Sanders with murder in the first degree. The medical examiner will determine cause and manner of Knighton's death.
For all you people that try to get out of parking tickets in traffic court, use Bigfoot next time, please, and let me know how it goes. Short Size says noodling for catfish. Again, that's probably some underground dating term. It doesn't mean anything to me. How do you noodle for catfish? What do you use? Your penis as bait? I don't get it.
Well, he clarifies. He says, or he was fucking the other guy.
Oh, so noodling for catfish means fucking the other guy. I love this show. I learn something new every week. I want to make it known I have not noodled for catfish.
Have you raped?
I have not raped, and neither have I noodled for catfish.
There you go. Now, I must say, this next story.
Mike Joel is getting aroused, by the way.
Ooh. This next story.
Oh, are we done this?
That was the entire story. There was nothing else.
Okay, so
this next story.
Wait a minute, I got to bring it up for you.
No, I'm not going to read it right now.
Oh.
This next story is. I have questions about the physics behind it, and as I read it, you'll understand. I don't know how this is possible, but as we get into it, we'll discuss together.
Okay, but wait a minute. Can you read the chat for 1 minute?
Short Size says it's like tickling trout, a way of catching fish without a line. So, what do you mean? It's like, do you sit there and go tickle, tickle, tickle? I got you.
Oblivious to all this.
Do you go under the fins, like under the armpits? Yeah. It's under the fins, tickle, tickle, tickle. Do the fish laugh and go, ha ha?
Is it like
you got me,
puppy, puppy, puppy?
Come here, fishy, fishy, fishy. I got your whiskers. Fucking catfish.
Oh God. Fat people getting roses. This is a great show. And Summoning's the Portal of Hell. Well, the chat room talks in fucking tongues.
This is the first time
tonight.
This is the first time in the history of this show we've had two people talk in tongues and try to summon the devil.
Yes. While telling us that catching fish by hand is normal.
Although I do know what he's talking about, catching catfish by hand. They go into the bayou and into the swamps of the bayou and try to and just throw your arm in there and try to pull the catfish out in the they dig little holes in the in the mud, in the water. So you kind of just go in there and try to pull the fish out.
Sounds like fun. And Short Size says it's noodling is not a sex. Well, you just spoiled all the fun.
We like to pretend it is.
I like to believe that Jesse Knight and his partner were fucking up the ass when he summoned Bigfoot to get some revenge on his partner because he didn't use lube. Anyway, you got this exciting story before we go to Florida.
Are you pulling it up?
No, you were telling me you were reading okay, we're going to Florida.
No, this next story. Not the Florida story yet, the gun story. Usually you put the picture up.
Oh, okay. I thought we were going to Florida. I apologize.
There you go. No, this story. I have questions about this story, about the physics of things.
Yeah.
This comes from the Macon County Chronicle. I can only assume it's Macon, Georgia. They don't say the state. There is no headline. It's just kind of like a news thing. A Red Boiling Springs woman is behind bars following a traffic stop and arrest that revealed she was concealing a gun, meth, and marijuana inside her body.
Inside where in her body?
We'll get to that in a second. According to a report by Macon County law enforcement, Deputy Clinton Fryer,
noodling.
I don't know. According to a report by Macon County law enforcement deputy Clinton Fryer, was on patrol around 11:15 p.m. on June 12, 2022, when he observed a Chevy S10 pickup truck without taillights traveling on Highway 52. After initiating a traffic stop, Officer Fryer noticed the driver, identified as 49-year-old Sheila Gale, had dilated pupils and was sweating profusely. She admitted to being on probation for drug-related charges, but denied having any narcotics inside the vehicle or on her person. Miss Smitty gave Officer Fryer consent to search the vehicle and her purse. While the officer was conducting the search, Miss Smitty took it upon herself to begin emptying out her pockets. Drugs are bad, ladies and gentlemen. Placing several .22 caliber bullets and a baggie on top of the car that contained a Suboxone pill and a Suboxone strip. Smitty was placed under arrest and transported to the Macon County Jail. As a standard practice during the booking process, Smitty was x-rayed by the correction staff, and what they discovered was shocking. Here comes my question of physics, ladies and gentlemen. Inside her vaginal cavity.
Not her vagina, her vaginal cavity.
Her vaginal cavity was what appeared to be a gun and two baggies. After the retrieval of these items, it was discovered Smitty was concealing a .22 caliber.
Definitely a loose goose.
After retrieval of these items, it was discovered Smitty was concealing a .22 caliber revolver.
She's one of those women when you're having sex, she farts out her vagina.
Wait, I'm not done. Please. Not only does she have a .22 caliber revolver in her vagina, it was in a holster in her vagina.
Excuse me. It was in a holster
in her vagina. Smitty was concealing a .22 caliber revolver inside a holster, a baggie containing approximately 4.1 grams of a crystallized substance that field tested positive for methamphetamine, and another baggie containing approximately 2.1 grams of a green leafy substance.
Wait a minute. Did it also field test positive for chlamydia?
I don't know. It doesn't say.
Right.
But there was another baggie containing approximately 2.1 grams of a green leafy substance believed to be marijuana. Now, before I go on with the story, here's my physics question. She has a .22 caliber revolver, not a small gun, inside her vagina. But not only is it inside her vagina, it's inside a holster inside her vagina, along with 2 bags of drugs.
And you bought me a fucking Doc Holliday shirt. I want the woman who identified as Susan Colster.
Where
did she pull that out of? Well, she couldn't have pulled it out of her vagina. That was full. But where did she pull out that I identified as Susan Colster?
I don't know where it said that she identified
Well,
as
she
anything.
identified as some weird name. You said it. She didn't just, this is the suspect. She identified herself.
Oh, Sheila Gale Smitty.
Sheila Gale Smitty. There you go. Who pulls that out of their fucking ass while your vagina's full with all that other stuff?
So here's what I don't understand. And please, anybody out there that can do science really well, let me know, because I don't understand physics that well. She has a gun, but not only a gun, she put the gun in the holster and then put it in her vagina. One,
they do bear large babies.
Well, yes, that's the body. The body, the vagina cavity will spread biologically because the baby is coming. She's not having a baby in reverse.
Well, maybe she's the Houdini of woohoos.
The Houdini of woohoos. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our show name, the Houdini of woohoos. Hold while I write things down.
I'm just saying, like, that is I gotta admit, like, she should have been in a gunfight.
But if she was in a gunfight, how's she going to get it out? It's in her vagina in a holster. For fuck's sake. It's not on her hip. She has to wear hold. Let me pull my pants down first, pull it out, then unsnap the holster, pull the gun out, cock the gun, and then shoot. Can you wait for a second? Can you wait 10 minutes?
It's not working. It's not working. There's some kind of vaginal phlegm on the gun.
There's some yellow bread-like substance on the gun. Yeast infection joke. So one,
breathe.
How does it get up there? Two, how is she sitting comfortably in a car with a gun in a holster inside of her?
Look at her poker face. She's not looking like she has to have a forward bowel movement at all. She's got a fucking gun in a holster up her fucking cooter. And she's looking like she's ready to sing happy birthday at a children's birthday party.
Can you imagine if she was the main attraction at a children's birthday party?
Could you imagine? You want to talk about summonings the portal for hell? Could you imagine sticking your cock in that? It would you'd be lost in a void.
Who knows what weapons you're going to hit when you're in there? You never know. She may have a fucking sawed-off shotgun in there for all we know. Jesus Christ!
Journey to the center of the earth.
Smitty, a convicted felon, was charged with unlawful possession of a weapon, introduction of drugs into a county institution, violation of light law. I don't know what light law is. Simple possession, 2 counts, and manufactured delivery possession of methamphetamine. Her bond was set at $37,000, and she is scheduled to appear in General Sessions Court on July 27th, 2022.
Excuse me. That's a show note.
Oh, please. Of all the stories that we've covered in this show over the years, this is one of the ones that really has me questioning a lot of things. I don't understand the physics of how she gets the gun and a holster in her vagina. I really don't.
And I really don't want to watch the tutorial or the TED Talk.
And on top of that, and we alluded to it earlier, in what instance does she use the gun for protection, I'm assuming? So if she's getting robbed or if she's getting carjacked, does she tell the person, wait a second, hold while I grab the gun?
Kind of like how we write something down.
Correct. Hold while I write things down. Hold while I go into my vagina, pull out the gun in the holster, unsnap the holster, pull out the gun, and shoot you. Can you wait a second?
Does a gun up your vagina make you bloated? Is there any women that could maybe answer that question? I doubt it, but it would
Doesn't it sting a little bit? Does it just a little bit? Doesn't it sting just a little bit?
Like the leather, would it not?
Right. Yeah. And the rivets. I mean, the holster has rivets in it, I'm assuming, or some type of binding on it. Doesn't that hurt a little bit?
And the face she's making, she's not in the least bit of discomfort right now.
She's perfectly fine with it. As if on her normal night, she's taking, giant sized fucking baseball bats up her pussy for fun.
Who is the security guard that fetched this?
Well, it doesn't say, but they x-rayed her and found it. So I'm assuming that they made her pull it out.
They have the vomit cleaners on the subway and all these weird stories. Is there, do you get on the radio? Hey, Big Jack, we need a vaginal retrieval. And they,
I'm assuming because they x-rayed her, they made her pull it out.
Okay. She's kind of like the Satan Santa Claus. Pulling toys out of her bag.
Mike says it's Ron Jeremy. They may be in the same cell block, so you never know.
You never know. A hedgehog in a bottomless pit. All right. Can we go to Florida? We're running out of time, and eventually I'll have to pee.
We certainly can.
I have to say something, though. Every time I think, it's not going to be that good, the stories turn out to be wonderful.
We make good things out of them.
All right, we got 3 to get through here, folks. Let's see if we can do it.
Everyone from Florida is me.
Cave Crew Radio presents Florida in the News.
I can tell by the picture this is going to be good.
First story of the night for Florida comes from the New York Post.
First contestant on The Bachelor.
There you go. You want fat inclusion? There's your fucking Bachelor for you. First story of the night comes from the New York Post. The headline reads, naked Florida man climbs onto big rig, throws highway into chaos.
Okay, so he's got running shoes on. He's naked. He's fat. It's raining. And it's I-75. I can't wait.
It was full Monty Frogger. A nude man threw a Florida commute into chaos last week. A nude man threw a Florida commute into chaos last week after he scampered across several highway lanes and hopped on the bed of a semi-trailer. Startled Sarasota drivers stopped to observe the mayhem on Interstate 75 at about 4 p.m. on June 30th and posted the footage of the incident to social media, most likely TikTok. Adding to the turmoil, the unidentified nudist executed his dash and mount amid driving rain and moving cars. Some concerned motorists called 911 and deputies took the man into protective custody. We were able to transport him to a local hospital for mental health evaluation. While we don't know what may have precipitated this man's actions, it's apparent that he was exhibiting abnormal behavior. You think?
He's naked, climbing a truck in the rain on I-75.
Well,
abnormal behavior's my ass.
Well, in this dude's defense, it is Florida, and it could be a normal, everyday occurrence in Florida.
They have questions about a gun in a holster.
This was a very dangerous situation for the man and the motorists traveling on the interstate at that time. We're thankful we were able to resolve the situation safely.
I have questions, but I'm going to pass. He's got fucking sneakers how the hell did he get on the truck in the first place? I'm assuming on the interstate you're going at least 55 miles an hour.
There could have been traffic. It was raining, so trucks go slow to begin with. And there could have been traffic, so he could have been able to catch it if there was traffic.
Do you ever read these stories and you really, really want to know the backstory on these people?
Every single one of our stories, I want to know the backstory.
Like, you know, when they do movies and they come back and they go, this is the prequel.
Right.
I would love to have the prequel to some of these stories. But this next one's just damn fun.
This next story comes from the Miami Herald. Headline reads, kids were being loud at this Florida steakhouse. A diner pulled out a fork, cops say. A disturbing incident occurred at a restaurant in Southwest Florida on Wednesday. According to the Lee County Sheriff's Office, a man was arrested after he allegedly threatened a fellow diner with an eating utensil at a restaurant in an Estero mall.
I love this shit, man. So the kids are singing, row, row, row your boat. You don't have a gun in a holster in your vagina. So what else do you use?
A fork.
Not a butter knife.
A
fork.
According to an arrest affidavit, a family was finishing up dinner at the Wasabi Steakhouse around 6 p.m. in the Miramar Outlets when the two young daughters became disruptive and loud. Seated at the next table, the suspect, later identified as Joseph Vader, became agitated by the noise and told the father to shut his kids up.
Do it. Shut it.
Shut the kids up. The victim told the cops that he said that he and his wife were trying their best to keep them calm, but the situation escalated. The offender picked up a fork and looked at the victim and threatened to use the fork to stab him in the throat.
I'm going to stab you in the throat with this fork.
The complainant then got his family to leave and said the offender got inches from his face and continued to be belligerent. After the family soon exited the establishment, Vader followed. Security video provided by the restaurant to NBC2 shows him right behind the group as they leave. Outside in the parking lot,
the fork?
I believe so. Outside in the parking lot, the argument continued with Vader smashing the victim's car window
with the fork.
Deputies responded to the scene, but the suspect had already left. They tracked him down a short while later and arrested him on charges of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and property damage. He was released on $6,500 bond.
Would he not be also charged with stealing the fork?
I guess he could, theoretically.
Because that belonged to the Howard Johnsons or the Wasabi Steakhouse or whatever.
Doesn't say that he was charged with that, but I guess he could, yes.
Could you imagine being in a restaurant with your family and, you know, kids get a little loud? Hell, people, I'll admit it. There's just last weekend, Melissa told me I was being loud in a restaurant and to shh. Could you imagine the person next to me waving a fork?
I constantly tell my little one, because he doesn't know, he's 6, he doesn't understand. I constantly tell him, you know, if we're out in a restaurant or anything, shh, you know, talk lowly, you know, speak softly. You don't need to yell. We're all sitting together, you know, shh. So try to keep them quiet so we can talk, you know, as normal people within 6 inches of each other. And I understand, you know, kids are loud and all that. I can't possibly imagine the person sitting next to me staring at me holding a fork like he's fucking Jack Torrance ready to fucking, you know, break down the door and fucking bash my head in.
Yeah. Another beautiful Florida story. Well, Big B, I think we need to end the night with some glitter.
What's better than glitter? I have
glitter.
glitter all over the house because my wife loves crafts.
Right. So glitter always makes people happy after all these disturbing stories.
It does. Glitter is a wonderful thing. Not Gary Glitter, by the way.
No, this is not Gary Glitter, although he could be.
Hey. No, not Gary Glitter. This final Florida story of the night, again, comes from the Miami Herald. Headline reads, glitter as a weapon? 2 women arrested in sparkly attack of a man at a Florida home. Glitter was used as a weapon in Florida early Monday. 2 Florida women were arrested after attacking a man with containers of the shimmery particles at his Clearwater home. According to a police
report, playing with silly string.
I attacked him with fucking silly putty.
Who would win a fork versus glitter?
A fork every time.
Yeah, okay.
According to a police report from the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office, Caitlin O'Donovan and Sarah Franks were charged with burglary with assault or battery. They were briefly held on $250 bond. The complaint says O'Donovan and Franks arrived at the ground level apartment at around 2:30 a.m. and began arguing with the man who was standing on his fenced balcony. The 2 women began launching containers of glitter, striking him in the upper torso and head. Oh my God. He was wounded from glitter. It doesn't say in the story, but then they poured Elmer's glue on him to try to
glows in the dark.
To try to put the glitter, to stick the glitter on him. Franks then jumped over the patio fence to hurl more of the sparkly substance at Jacob and enter his place. O'Donovan then walked to the front door so that Franks could unlock it and let her in, and the alleged glitter attack continued inside the home.
Wait a minute, though. This guy's getting bombarded by glitter on his balcony. He then returns into the house, unlocks the door.
No, one of the chicks hops the fence, gets in the house.
He runs in and unlocks
the door.
I got you. Okay, because I'm thinking poor, what's his name here? He's lost his fucking shit.
He's covered in all colors of glitter, green and gold and red and blue.
This is the ultimate reveal party at 2:30 a.m.
You ever tried it? You have kids, obviously your kid is older, but when they were younger, they had crafts for school and you did glitter.
Yeah.
And you put the Elmer's glue on, you put the glitter on it, and the glitter got for days. You would have glitter on your fucking face. No matter what you did, it's stuck there.
6 years later, you find glitter while you're cleaning.
Imagine this guy being attacked with glitter. When cops arrived, the 2 local women had already left, but investigators were able to track down their car, which was reportedly filled with glitter.
Okay.
Franks is also accused of kicking open a window when she departed, leaving about $100 in damage.
So she's like a teenage mutant ninja turtle of glitter.
It seems that way. Cologne, who's the guy, Cologne's condition is unknown, as is his relationship to the suspects. But his apartment...
I don't worry about his condition so much as his ego.
But his apartment likely needed a good sweeping.
Could you imagine telling friends, I've been assaulted? Oh, my dear, what happened to you? You know, you're thinking guys walk in with guns and holsters that haven't been in vaginas and shit. No, he was attacked with glitter. Would you even admit that to people?
No,
well,
I wouldn't even.
He did.
I wouldn't even call the cops. I've been assaulted by glitter. No, it doesn't happen that way. I would never say that to anybody ever. 2 chicks assaulted me. They threw glitter on me, and I had to call the cops.
And it made it sound like they beat them, but they're very violent, though. They're breaking windows, they're knocking down doors, and yet at the same time, they're like fucking throwing glitter. Like,
If I can harken back to last week's show, this guy would be a cuckold. He lets chicks throw glitter all over him, and he runs to the police. Please help me. I'm being attacked by red and gold glitter.
oh, God.
Jerk off.
And they have strap-on cannons that shoot out the glitter. It's fucking
They've shot a t-shirt at me. Oh, my God. It may have glitter attached to it. I may get one in the eye.
Well, you got to look at him, though. He doesn't look too mentally healthy to begin with. Mike Jolis wants us to check out Pornhub.
Yeah, glitter on Pornhub.
Apparently, there's glitter porn.
Of course there is. There has to be. If you can stick a gun with a holster up your vagina, you can stick glitter up there.
I am going to Google glitter porn before bed.
Glitter porn. And then when your wife asks what all these ads that are coming up for glitter dildos,
show research.
There you go.
Show research. She is in chat, and Mrs. B comes down, and Mrs. B comes down, brings you drinks. They know full well that we're holstered deep up the ass of the news.
That's right.
And they can't question any of the research they do. Whether we have skeletons in our closet or not, they know damn well we're honest and we're straightforward about our side job.
That is 100% true. My wife will come down. When she brings the drink, she doesn't just leave. She hangs out. So she hears what at least my conversation, like, because everything's in headphones, so she can't hear what you're saying. But she hears what I'm saying.
Chat, and my wife's like, "Oh, you got your show tonight." So obviously, me talking about women who shove guns up their vagina and cuckolds and all this other shit we talk about, it's okay. We're not divorced yet, either one of us. Now, if your wives, gentlemen, catch you listening to this show, you could be under the spotlight. But as for us, we're transparent.
That is true. Short size still waiting for the bass slap.
Yeah, that's happening at the block party. That's going to be almost as entertaining as the fucking propane torch that was supposed to clear the snow off the driveway. If you haven't seen it, you got to do some searching on the Cave Crew Radio Facebook group.
Short size wives encourages it.
Yes. I've told you before, I got this one buddy. He was crazy. He was fun. He was like you know, like we had all this good time and conversation. And listen, ladies and gentlemen, we own our houses. We go to work. We do all kinds. We just like to talk about weird shit. Doesn't mean we're not upstanding citizens. I don't identify as Elma Watson or whatever she called herself. But my one buddy, he got married, and we used to have this nickname for him. And he said, "You can't call me that anymore." What the fuck are you talking about? I've called you that since you were 6 years old. I'm not going to change now.
Right.
So I at least feel comfortable that I can be weird in front of my wife, as long as I bring home a paycheck and don't.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, as long as you bring home the money, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. And make good dinners.
There you go.
Right.
As long as I keep the barbecue flowing, as my wife says, nobody makes better barbecue than me. I'm sure 99.9% of people do, but my wife loves my barbecue. So as long as I keep it rolling, I'm good.
So if you want to have the cure not to get divorced, make good food, have a sense of humor, bring in a paycheck.
Yes.
And you should be okay.
There you go.
Because me and Big B lose our shit every single Friday, and we're still married.
Absolutely.
But I still caution you from letting your spouses know you're listening to us talk about this kind of shit, because it's
honey, I heard that some woman put a gun in a holster up her vagina.
Yeah.
Is that possible? Can you demonstrate? No, don't do that.
Yes. Can you validate that? I believe it's fake news. I heard it on Cave Crew Radio. I know it for a fact. Both these guys have been married for 20 years. They would not tell a lie. And ladies and gentlemen, I got to be honest with you. We don't make this shit up. We find it somewhere. So don't blame us.
Every week it's out there.
It's out there, and we feed on it. We are noodling catfish every single week to make you people laugh. Anyway, you know what time it is, everyone? It is time for us to name the show, because shortly after naming the show, and I don't know how many more years I'm going to be able to do this, I need to go pee. Eventually, we will be doing this show, and I will just piss my pants. It's just a matter of age. It's going to catch up to me eventually. Anyway, yes, Florida is that's why it has its own segment. There's weird stories from around the world, but nobody matches Florida. All right, I'm gonna shoot off a few. I had a lot, but I starred some.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked the Full Monty Frogger.
Okay.
I had no idea where that came from, but it just rang a.
That was the Florida guy on the truck.
Yeah, I just like that. Full Monty Frogger, maybe a show note. Chris Apthorpe did say, it's like throwing hot dogs down a hallway. I know that can't be a show name, but it was beautiful. Fat inclusion training. It's another one of my favorites. Snickers for knickers, something that Short Size said earlier.
Yep.
And Mike Joel said, no idea what it is. I had to leave it in chat to write it down and spell it. The Necronomicon.
The Necronomicon.
Yes. I loved it. I had to write it down. I've learned so much tonight. I say you have 5. You've been
That's 7.
7.
Let me know when you are ready.
I have never been so ready.
First one, you wanted me to write it. You wanted me to write it down as a show note very early in the show, talking about the block party. Play that funky music, White Boy.
Yes.
That was our pal Short Sai saying, talking about the block party and me bringing out my bass to play while the DJ is playing during the block party, which is coming up next month.
That was beautiful.
Next, we had talking about hockey. We had spicy pork versus Butterfingers.
Oh, I had that written down too. I did have that written down too. Spicy pork versus Butterfingers. Who's Butterfingers?
That was the dropping of the Stanley Cup.
Oh, right. I got it. Okay, yeah, that now it makes sense.
Next, talking about Fat Bachelor, potato chips instead of roses. Short Side, while we're waiting for DK, Short Side says at least one of these boys must have seen Evil Dead. I saw Evil Dead
I
years
love
ago.
Evil Dead. When the woman got raped by the tree, that was the most. That was the biggest turn on I think of my teenage years. When I was on acid. I was on acid, and I really got turned on by the girl that was raped by the tree, which
There
I
you
guess
go.
makes me one of these liberal fucking people now.
Next, I can't wait for Fat Bachelor. Again, that could be a show note, but that was you, DK, who said that. You cannot wait for Fat Bachelor. And your wife, since your wife loves the show on the 80-inch television, that will be first and foremost in your living room.
Honestly, I honestly think I might tune. As much as we make fun of this, I think I'd rather enjoy it.
Depending on how they frame it.
Especially if the fucking fat chick with the 3,000 rolls walks out in a bikini.
There you go. That would be TV to watch.
Yeah, and he says, "I want to drink champagne out of roll number 3." Anyway,
I also had Snickers for Knickers. That was a wonderful line.
Yes.
Now I'm torn between the final two.
Oh,
I don't know which one I like better.
Hang on. Do we have a drum roll? Let's see if we have a drum roll. We should. I was a hard time with my mouse today. All right, here we go. Number 2.
I've gone back and forth. I can't pick. Well, I guess I have picked.
Well, we'll help you. We will help you.
All right. So the final two. Number 1, hire fat staff.
So as in HIGHER?
No, hire, HIRE.
Oh.
As in you're hiring. Hire fat staff.
Okay. And the next one.
And I think I like this one better. The Houdini of hoo-hoos.
I don't even know how to. Okay, so the Houdini. How would we spell hoo-hoos? Like WHO?
Yeah, I have WHOOHOOS. Woohoos. That was the chick who hid a gun in a holster in her vagina.
I remember that. I can run with that. That's definitely a show name grabber. The Houdini of hoo-hoos. And there's so much for show notes, ladies and gentlemen. If you have a friend that needs a break from reality, you really should tell them to come and join us on the show. We have a lot of fun. And by the way, I wanted to tell you about this. Matt Vanderpool was the one who private messaged me the story of the woman with the gun in the holster. And he's like, so many questions, gravity, physics, like you were saying.
Right.
And I said, don't worry. We will uncover the answers. We always do.
We always do. Well, some of them. A lot of times in these stories, they leave a lot out.
I know, but that's I think that's what the fun of the show is that we fill in the blanks.
I guess, yeah.
And
We
they-
make it fun and interesting.
And they have no self-defense because they don't give us the answers. So what we say goes.
That's right.
The Houdini of hoo-hoos. Still not sure we spell it right, but that's the show name. So I'm on vacation. I am scheduled to come back on Friday, though. So if I can get some stories in line over the next couple days, we should be able to be on schedule for another show.
It's up to you. Let me know.
I will. And Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us tonight. We had a ball. I hope you did too. And a lot of the fun is the conversation we have out in the chat room. So, you know how much we appreciate that. Anyway, Big B and I need to run to the bathroom, and we will see you next week. Until then, take care. Join us on Facebook, ladies and gentlemen. Cave Crew Radio. We're in so many other places, but that's the main spot to be. We're out of here.
Later.
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. Search Cave Crew Radio.
I want you to pack up and get out.
Get the hell out of here! Go! Just go! Get out! Get the hell out!
That will conclude this evening's entertainment.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Fox and Friends in the morning, they're very honorable people.